Watchmen, very explicit exploration by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons of the sexual subtext of costume, which you'll see in the section of the exhibit that they call the paradoxical body. Haven't got time to go into that now. You'll have to read my book for an analysis of that page.
Movie's coming out next March.
I can't wait.
The scene will be in it.
It'll be R-rated then.
Actually, yes.
Spawn, we're into the 1990s, and we've got heroes who almost look more like villains in the combination of the red and black, white colors, very complete head masks, threatening, and yet, of course, Spawn is the protagonist. He's the guy we identify with. This is Frank Miller moving on from his work on things like Dark Knight Returns to take over the Spawn character. I was going to move forward more into the contemporary material, or the last decade to finish up with. Here we have from Kingdom Come, Alex Ross's work, a fascinating scene where Clark Kent and Diana Prince, out of costume, visit a superhero theme restaurant where the waiters and waitresses are dressed up as characters from the Justice League. So you've got a fake Martian Manhunter, Supergirl, and so forth, everything twisted around. Very disconcerting. And by comparison, this is Alan Moore again and Gene Ha in Top 10, which is sort of based on Hill Street Blues, but with mutants and superpowered characters. An absolute outrageous mix of costumes that come from the straight superhero tradition and horror movies and just about every kind of source, but held together, I would suggest, by the conventions of the superhero genre. Out of costume, you wanted to talk about characters out of costume, Danny. This is Thor, Iron Man, Tony Stark, as we talked about earlier, and Captain America Steve Rogers from the Ultimates at a party.
All right. Well, they're just they're at a party. They're casual, but they certainly have, their distinct look. Even and you can see Stark. He's the Bruce Wayne equivalent of the Marvel Universe. So he's got almost like a royal kind of collar on that sweater. It kind of puts him in that, princely way above even Thor, who, also there's a lot of royalty there. I guess the only one who's not is Captain America, who's even casually he's got the tie on, I guess, and some kind of wacky
like
sweater.
Uniform, doesn't he? And there's some more comment from Ultimates about costume, and in a costume, out of costume. It's our friend Henry Pym, but this time as Giant Man in the story, meets a group of heroes who were a popular team in the 70s and 80s, the Defenders, but in this story they're depicted as kind of a bunch of losers who have the costumes but they can't do anything with it. There's some very witty dialogue between Pym and Valkyrie. Do you have any? I'm kind of like Thor, but without weather powers. Can you fly? No, but I can bench press 250. And then she does her little peekaboo shot in the right-hand view of the second panel, and we kind of get an insight into perhaps the reason she's really gone into the superhero business. And then again, a kind of another strange, disconcerting scene. You've got the Justice League and the Grant Morrison story. Lex Luthor has become US president. So he's kind of in his supervillain outfit, but it's just a presidential suit in the Oval Office, and they're having an uncomfortable interview with him. I find that image very disconcerting. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, they're disconcerted. They're at a loss for words.
I don't think we're authorized to have the political conversation today.
But a lot of old Jewish people in Florida voted for Lex Luthor. That was the strange thing.
That was the political conversation.
Oh, sorry.
I just find it, you see, superheroes don't live in England. So a scene where a whole bunch of costume characters would go into Downing Street, it's just not credible, even within, the parameters of the fictional universe. But somehow, because it's the Oval Office, you accept them there. But it's still strangely disturbing. It's a powerful conceit, I think, bringing the power of the presidential dress, and it's Luthor, and the costumes together in one place.
Well, in a sense, the Oval Office is an analog for the costume.
Yeah.
It has become, even down to the the seal in the carpet gone from a functional space into a ceremonial space in the same way that the costumes transform the characters.
Exactly, yeah. We've got to wrap up very quickly now, but here's one that I put in because Paul requested it. Darwin Cook, New Frontiers. Again, retrospective continuity, retcon, on a different era. And he's done something beautiful with the costumes to kind of refresh them and yet give them tradition at the same time. Is that right?
The power of an individual artist to interpret is a wonderful thing in this business. I mean, you'll get the artist panel this afternoon. You'll get some time with Alex, whose work you saw before, who's certainly one of the most noted artists in our business for how he can transform the existing characters. John Cassaday, who's done some of that with the X-Men characters and worked on a number of original series as well. We don't have, I think, have Darwin with us today, but it's great. There's still, even with these characters that are 70 years old, there's still power for somebody to just impose a personal style on it and somehow make a new statement.
And very briefly, that's Raj Comics from India. Whole bunch of characters maybe no one else in the room has ever seen. You've got Nagraj there, the feisty-looking woman at the top is Shakti. You've got Tiranga, who's the Indian Captain America, and the Indian national colours there on the right with the shield. What I'm trying to say with this image is it's a way of designing costumes and telling stories that is global now. It's spread out from the United States, but you see those characters and you know they're superheroes. You might not realize or know the continuity and the publisher they come from, but they're instantly identifiable. We know they have superpowers. And like June 2008, out now. Recognizably the same character Superman that we came in with at the very beginning, although he has acquired his L signet ring. That's right, isn't it, Paul? He's
a little bit of Legion history creeping in there somewhere.
Okay, well, I wish we had more time, because I could sit up here all day and talk to these two gentlemen about the costumes and learn from them, but I have to wrap it up here now. But thank you very much for listening to us, and thank you, Paul and Danny, so much.
Thank you, Richard.